Blog Talk Radio.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, Executive Producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed, into the swing of things? Well, don't worry, you are not alone. Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with ZeldaSpeaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Mondays, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure and send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
Grand Rising, and welcome once again to the Female Solution, and we have a fantastic show for you today. Our Monday host, Zelda Speaks, is bringing you some very vital information, and you need to take notes because this is something that at some point everybody needs to have knowledge of. There was a recent Disability Expo in which all of the services and benefits that are afforded people with disabilities were shared with the participants, and you can be empowered with information from this Disability Expo as you learn about housing, health care, and many other available services, as reported by our Monday morning stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. So we want you to call in with your comments and questions, 515-605-9325, and press 1 to speak to the host. We certainly do admire those who manage to navigate through buildings and other edifices in wheelchairs or even in walkers or canes, because often people are not considered who have disabilities. The good thing is laws now make it necessary for wheelchair accessibility in places like restaurants and other locations, and also where there are restrooms. You need to have the wheelchair accessibility built into your restroom areas. So there is more consciousness, but this didn't come without some very diligent work by those who were advocating on behalf of people with disabilities. Many who championed these causes were people who realized that the general society just doesn't think. Now we have a number of measures that help people who may need assistance with their walking, with their breathing, with all kinds of things that happen. As we go through the aging process, our bodies change, and often we find ourselves in situations we didn't plan on. We may find ourselves wheelchair bound. We may find ourselves in need of an oxygen tank. We may find ourselves in need of constant medical care. And because there are those who made an effort to ensure that the society is conscious of the needs of the disabled, we have things in place that will enable those whose physical bodies may have challenges to still live full and rewarding lives. Somewhere around the age of perhaps 40 or 50, we find that the roles to be reversed between parent and child. And many people are now in that middle-age stage of life where they have become the adult caregivers for their parents. You want your parent to be able to still live a full life and to also be as independent as possible, despite whatever the disability they may be faced with. So it's necessary for us to look into the possibilities before that time. There are people who have been able to get their homes remodeled with additional ramps and other things that are necessary, or get even hospital-style beds installed. But you want to be able to plan ahead, not to plan for illness, but certainly plan for the change of life that happens as we age, and even as unexpected things happen, such as accidents. Young people have had accidents which have rendered them no longer physically capable of some of the activities they were accustomed to. And so we look at all of the ways that the society has to make adjustments so that everybody can participate. Schools that need to be conscious in their construction, making sure all students can sit inside desks or get through hallways. There was a time when physically disabled students were lumped right in with the educationally mentally handicapped and the behavioral disorder students. Everybody was just lumped together. Well, these are the people who can't function. And that was certainly a travesty of justice when you have someone who mentally is quite capable and may even be performing exceptionally, but because they are striving to overcome a physical disability, perhaps they may be wheelchair bound, they would get lumped in the classroom with the other students who had mental or emotional impairment. So these are some of the things that are changing nowadays, but there was a time when there was extreme insensitivity, and there was a time when such students were forced to be in a situation that did not reflect their actual capabilities. This, of course, was wrong, But it took advocacy from parents, from citizens who understood, and from regular people who realized that a physical disability is not necessarily a mental impairment, and often people don't recognize the difference, especially in children. So these are some of the changes that have occurred, and the changes have happened as a result of conscious people speaking out and getting laws changed and policies changed. But it has been a long time coming. There are even issues, children, when it comes to bullying, and children with various disabilities had been subjected to a level of cruelty in many cases. Children who might have had cerebral palsy or may have had polio or other debilitating diseases and illnesses, and perhaps as a result, their bodies did not function up to par, who may have, because of, and this was the disease of polio rendered a number of children with walking disorders or bone formation disorders, and as a result, they may walk in a way that was a bit awkward, and because of this, were mislabeled as some type of a learning disability. So many mistakes were made. Well, a lot of this has been corrected because of our rising consciousness and the diligence of parents who fought for the rights of their children. Now we're in a position where we need to fight for the rights of our parents, the right to a life of dignity and a life of peace and comfort. Your home should be a place that is accessible to you and provides you with your necessities, regardless of what your physical state might be. And so we look forward to learning more about this Disability Expo from our Monday morning host, ZeldaSpeaks. And we look forward to your participation in this conversation. Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak, and we'll certainly come right to you and get your comments. It's a challenge when you are a minority, so to speak. And there is one minority that can encompass any racial group, any nationality, any religious group, any gender, and that is the disabled. When your body has been injured or has had a malformation somewhere in your development, and therefore you have to adjust to things differently. So we have to be sensitive to those who are overcoming challenges. Recently, I saw a video of a man, it was a clip of a man who was a guest on the Oprah show, and he had no arms and no legs. He was born that way. And he actually walked up a few steps to demonstrate, and he kind of figured out how to wiggle his way up the steps. And he spoke of how he learned gratitude to the Creator for his life, and he realized that he could conquer anything. And this individual was such an inspiration. He had no arms and no legs. And you figure, if you can survive, if you can thrive, if you can still live a normal life with friends and activities and education with no arms and no legs, then how can anybody else complain? So he was certainly a reminder that we are not the bodies we're in. We are the souls inside the body. And all we need to do is to find ways for the body to serve us so that we may function. But if there are parts missing, or if there are parts not functioning, or if there are parts that have been injured, that doesn't change who we are, and it certainly shouldn't change our self-esteem. Many young people growing up in communities where the understanding is lacking are emotionally scarred from having been teased because of a disability. And too often adults were not diligent in preventing that kind of emotional abuse. So we have a lot of growth to do when it comes to ensuring that our children who may have disabilities are not suffering when they go out in public or when they must interact in the schools or other community locations that put them in contact with other children. And parents have a responsibility to teach their children compassion, sensitivity, and respect for all people. We really do have that responsibility. So when parents are neglecting that duty, then children can be allowed to be very cruel, and this has a lifetime effect on the emotional state of a human being. So recognizing that any of us could become among the disability population at any point in time, a car accident, a fall, an illness, a disease, anything could render us physically incapable of functioning in a certain manner, so that we need the help of a wheelchair or a walker or an oxygen tank or any other device. And this, of course, opens the door for us to get services for the disabled. Disabled aren't just elderly, as I said, they are often young people, sometimes children. So this expo gave us some insight about what is available in terms of services and help and assistance, so that we can know that there is a level of sensitivity in the government. But now, if you are middle-aged or older, have you or are you currently challenged of taking care of an elderly parent who may have developed a disability? And if so, what did you learn about that process? Did you become more sensitive to things like taking them places where there is a wheelchair accessible toilet or restroom? Did you become more conscious about whether doorways are wide enough if they are in a wheelchair? Or is there an elevator if you need to take stairs? What kind of ways did you become sensitive as a result of taking care of either an elderly parent or a disabled loved one? And what did you do to sensitize other people around you? Give us a call and give us your comments, 515-605-9325, and press 1 if you're ready to speak, and we'll get your comments. There are many other disabilities. There is loss of sight. There is loss of hearing. So how does the society adjust when people have a need for assistance? Of course, they've got many devices where, of course, now with cell phones, you can communicate by phone. That's a very important aspect of our new cell phones. And then you have computers, which are voice activated for people who may not be able to type on a keyboard. Perhaps a paralysis or something keeps them from typing. So they have voice activation where it will transcribe the words. So there have been a number of inventions that have helped people whose bodies may not function at 100% capacity. What are some of the things that you have experienced if you have ever had to take care of someone who has had a disability? Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 if you're ready to speak. And have you ever yourself struggled with a disability? And what experience was that like if you went from walking to a wheelchair and then having to still function? Maybe you had to still figure out how to drive. How do you get in out of a car? How do you operate the pedals? How do you get to a place where there are stairs to get in the front door and you can't roll up the stairs? How did you handle that challenge? Give us a call, 515-605-9325, and press 1 when you're ready to speak. We're going to go to our phone lines now and take your calls. And if you're listening online, feel free to join us and help to educate us as we prepare to hear more about the Disability Expo. And perhaps this is an event you need to bring to your city, because there are growing numbers of people whose bodies have had trauma or difficulties or just part of the aging process, and they need help, and we need to become sensitive. Well, let's go to our phone lines, and I believe we've got Brother Kofi from Chicago on this morning. Grand Rising, how are you today?
I'm great. You know, I was just thinking about disabilities, and I was looking at the color of our skin as Black people, which is our disability of being able to talk with one another. And I find right now the whole world loves Black people, but we just don't love each other. And that is a mental disability that's plaguing the world today. And I was just thinking about the disability. And, you know, we get reparations from our color. We get reparations for things, you know, for the bad behavior. We're in jail. The majority of us are in jail who are Black people. We're in jail. We're incarcerated. That's a disability. We were tracked down and manipulated in the courts. And now we're in the system because of our skin. And I was just thinking about our disability. You know, what do you say?
Well, that's an interesting perspective. I'd like to explore that for just a moment, because you do have a lot of people who have that thought that because they live in a society where there is racial prejudice among some people, and some of the institutions are racially biased, or those who operate in those institutions are racially biased, they look at their color as a disability. Now, I tend to believe that you create your own reality, and you can choose to respond to other people's behavior, or you can choose to not respond to it. Because no matter what a person calls me or what they say about me, they can't change the reality of who and what I am. And I can choose to ignore whatever they say or do.
Yeah, but that creates this mental stress every day that you got to deal with.
Or trying to deprive me of something. Well, our power is to remove ourselves from situations where we have to depend on people who are cruel or unfair, and we have the power to do that. But I think when we believe we don't have it, then we allow ourselves to stay in jobs where we're being abused because we don't think we can survive any other way, or we allow ourselves to stay in relationships where we're being abused because we don't think we can survive any other way. But I think it really is a state of mind and a state of belief.
Yeah, I think if you don't express and come to your spiritual self, then you can be caught at that dead end of dealing with race. And this is how I deal with it. I'm just a spirit. So if you're looking at my color, I see where you're at. You're in the flesh, you know. And I try to deal with people who are in the spirit, who are over that physical alertness, because we're taught it every day. We're taught it every day. Turn on the TV, we're taught it every day. So it's a dysfunction. But going back to the elderly and things like that. A lot of disabilities are being created by this new GMO foods, and it's we're being put to become sick like it's normal. You know, I cried yesterday because I was on the train and it was a sister, and God told me to, hey, go introduce her with some herbs and let her know you have the secret, and you've been doing this to get people's weight down. And you can just tell she was uncomfortable, she was overweight. And I said, excuse me, ma'am, here's my card. I said, I'm a naturopath doctor. I can help you get your weight down. She looked at me like, no, I don't need that. And I was like, I'll give it to you for free. I don't need it. And that cried because I go, you've fallen off a cliff. You have fallen off a cliff, and I'm showing you my hand to save you. And most people don't want help. Most people with disabilities don't want help. When I see people walking down the street who are blind, and they got a stick in their hand over by the UIC area. I'm over there a lot. And this lady, she's going down the street the wrong way. And I go, excuse me, ma'am, you got to go this way. I know where I'm going. I go, no, you're about to walk into a. And she didn't want any help because she was blind, and she was determined on doing it by herself. So that's one of the first things.
Sometimes there's people that have pride, and they don't want to feel like they're helpless, and they don't want pity, because pity is a terrible thing to feel from people. So sometimes they feel like if you pity me, then that's looking down on me, and I want to show you that I'm still independent, even though they might be going the wrong way and they can't see. But there's the pride factor. And then there are people who have developed eating disorders, just like a drug addiction, where they're addicted to sugars, they're addicted to GMOs and bad food and all of that, and that's their source of comfort. And so they're not going to give that up, even though it's hurting their bodies. And you can't make a person choose to be healthy. That's something they have to choose to do. And for people who use food as a drug, or use food as a comfort, or the food as a substitute for love, they're not going to give it up because they haven't dealt with the emotional reason why they eat. So I understand the frustration of trying to help people who refuse help, but you can only give information. We all have the free will to either listen or not listen. And sometimes people,
the best way,
when they choose to be sick, just let them choose to be sick.
When I go through cycle periods like that of people kind of rejecting, really, we know that we know that herbal treatment helps us. We recognize that. That is a stone right now, we understand. But I find out that if they don't want to listen to me, I'll just write it down, do a little letter or flyer, and I'll give it away. People want to read it for themselves. But going back to my personal situation of dealing with my mother, who was in she had a stroke. And I wasn't raised by her, but I found her when I got out of college. And I wanted to be in her life, and I was in her life. But I noticed they would not let me give herbs to my mother in the home, in the senior citizen home. No, you can't give that to her. She's on medication. So I asked to take her outside to my house, and they asked me, well, do you have wheelchair facilities up to your second floor? I go, no, I'll just pick up my mom, take her in the house, and then pick up the wheelchair and do the same. They said, no, you cannot take your mother away from this facility. And my mother died within that year. She had another stroke and she died. And I was going to sue them because I'm trying to help my mother, and because of this law that if I don't have a wheelchair access, I can't bring my mother home, that was crazy. That was a crazy experience. And this is where we at. The mindset of the people out here, they don't want people to get healthy. They wanted people to stay sick, because if you take your mother home and get her better, you could take your mother out the facility and we lose money. So that was my experience in caring for a disabled. But hello? Hello?
Yes. Oh, I totally, my heart goes out to you, because I know that it totally is a financial incentive for them to keep people there. And my condolences for the pain and anguish you went through. Unfortunately,
many of the nursing homes keep people drugged up because, as you know, there's that tie between the pharmaceutical industry and insurance companies and the nursing homes, and everybody's making money off of our illness. So we have to educate, and then when we can, remove our parents from places that are just making them sicker. But we gotta make a transition now. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate you as always from sharing your insight and wisdom. We're going to take a commercial break and bring on our Monday morning host, Zelda Speaks, right after this, and we're going to hear about this fantastic Disability Expo. So we want you to stay right there with us. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world.
Big difference.
Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection.
Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. In other cities, check your local cable listings.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Community and police need to come together again. Police need to walk the streets, get to know the citizens. They can ride the buses, the L, the subways, and once again, become the officer friendly we always hear about. Police are the front line between us and the criminal element. As mayor, I will begin program to assure they will get to know us as our neighbors.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hi, this is Beata, your holistic life coach. Every Friday morning, I'm on The Female Solution. I'm also blogging live every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Soul Purpose Healing, where I help you get back into alignment with the Creator's love, compassion, and wisdom. On Sunday, you can call in at 215-383-5863 or go to www.blogtalkradio.com/soulpurposehealing. When I'm not doing spiritual adjustments on Blog Talk Radio, I'm helping clients reduce the stress in their lives with EFT, essential oils, and cost-saving health plans like Ameriplan. Ameriplan is a better way to save money on your health care expenses. There is more information on how to contact me at www.yourholisticlifecoach.com. Till then, stay in joy.
Grand Rising. Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us this morning, Monday Morning Mindfulness, on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks. Hopefully your weekend was long enough, because this week may be challenging, and for some it may be a little challenging, more challenging than others. And a very special thank you to our executive producer,
Dr. Naima Latif, for transitioning with me this morning from the 7 o'clock hour until now. I have hosted a lot of information for you this morning, so I do encourage you right now to stop whatever you're doing and grab pen and paper. Or, as my niece would say, Auntie, nobody writes anymore. Okay, grab your iPad, iPod, or whatever mechanism it is that you use to take notes with this morning, because I had the pleasure and privilege of attending the City of Chicago's Disability Expo at Navy Pier this past Thursday. And today's show is dedicated to the caregivers of the world, those who make it convenient in an inconvenient world. And a very special thank you to those of you who are doing the work and not being compensated for it in a monetary way, or even just to say thank you, because you work in a thankless environment with people who really don't appreciate your services. So today, on behalf of the Female Solution, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And for those that are listening this morning, I would like you to join me in putting your hand over your heart, your right hand over your heart, and sending love to all the caregivers this morning who are already stressed out. Because this is a thankless job. Someone has to care for those who are unable to care for themselves. And by the grace of God, there is or was an expo in place to give us the resources that we need to continually help those. So I'd like you to keep your hand over your heart for just a moment and send up a quiet prayer and give thanks for those who make it possible, for those who have physical challenges. So if you would just do that, take a few deep breaths and give thanks and send love to the caregivers. We love you. We give thanks for you. And we appreciate you. To the caregivers of the world. And if you know of any caregivers, the next time you see them, tell them thank you. Tell them how much you appreciate them, because they are often not told that information. It's just go to the client's house, get a check, leave, go home, and do whatever it is that you do. And we live in a society that does not recognize the abundance of trials and tribulations that caregivers experience on a daily basis. By the grace of God, someone is available to take care of someone who cannot take care of themselves. If you're listening online, feel free to send in your comments, thoughts, suggestions to our social media page, facebook.com, ZeldaSpeaks, and the same for Twitter and Instagram. We welcome you again to Monday morning mindfulness to start your week off with the mindfulness stress relief session, in which we will be doing very shortly. But first, let me remind you that you can win a prize today, and that is free tickets to Brookfield Zoo. When you call in today and tell me the topic of today. And that should be pretty easy, because we're going to be talking about it for the next hour and a half or so. And if you are looking for a way to earn extra income, We invite you to become a health ambassador. If you're looking a way to make money, we are in a position to help those who are diabetic and is that the word for it? Pre-diabetic? Borderline diabetic. That's the word, borderline diabetic. I was a borderline diabetic for over 10 years that I was aware of. And, you think it's going to get better, but it doesn't. It does not. If you're eating, first of all, if your thinking does not change, then your eating and your physical activity doesn't change. You are in for a rude awakening, as I was about to be rolled into the emergency room and discovered I had diabetes. So don't want to wait until the last minute. So if you would like to win those free Brookfield Zoo tickets, they are here. Just remember what the title of the story is today, of the show is today. And if you want to make money helping those who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, just go to diabeticdonut.com. And we're also looking for people, who want to make money on Amazon. Simply go to ZeldaSpeaks.com and click on training. We have had the privilege and honor to help an organization called the Higher Learning Network, and that teaches behind-the-scenes radio, television, and print production. It's for nonprofits as well as for-profit businesses who want to earn money, and that's available. There's a lot of shopping done in this country, and there are many people who don't agree with the fact that Amazon has come along and taken over the shopping market and putting a lot of mom-and-pop businesses out of business. But there is a way to curtail that. If you can't beat them, join them. And if you go to ZeldaSpeaks.com and click on training, you'll see there's a link to a young lady by the name, from the Caribbean, mind you. Her name is Yasin Hall. We call her Miss Yassi. And she is teaching people all over the world how to do that. And you don't have to be an older individual. She has many students who are learning how to put themselves through college, and I just think that's awesome. So that's one of the things that the Higher Learning Network does. And also the Higher Learning Network is available for your review on television. So you can set those DVRs for Tuesdays at 6 p.m., and it repeats again at Wednesday at 1 p.m. on Channel 19. And you can always see it 24/7 on the website higherlearningnetwork.org. And as we begin the day, it is time for the spiritual reading of the day. And it is taken from Inspirational Conversations, 365 Days of Empowerment with Shalomith Yisrael. And this is taken from Volume 2. And it says, this reading is from July 27th. We have become a nation of guinea pigs. We have become so programmed, we are simply going through the motions, walking around in a daze, and we really think we got it going on. I'm sure you've seen The Matrix by now. We wake up to an alarm clock. We medicate ourselves with food, nicotine, caffeine, and anything else we can get just to get through the day. Yeah, it's a daily uphill battle. And when does it end? Our children shouldn't have to see us go through the daily trials and tribulations. They shouldn't be subjected to terror in the neighborhoods with crime. None of this would be happening, but it is. None of this should be happening, but it is. What can we do? Do like we did in the early days of protest. Get involved. Let me say that again. Get involved. We are too nonchalant people. If you don't like what you see in your community, it's up to you to speak up. Just imagine where you would be if no one spoke up for you. Pulling a mule, hauling water, chopping cotton, picking beans, milking cows. Doesn't sound too appealing, does it? Well, it all begins and ends with you. The question is, now what? What will you do? What will you do to get involved? Inspirational Conversations with Shalom with Israel. And I hope that put a little something on your mind today. In the back of your mind, maybe you'll think about how it is that you can get involved in your community and make it a better place to live, because if you look out your front door and you like what you see, it's okay. But if you look out your front door and you do not like what you see, then it's time to get involved. We have become too complacent, and that leads to more of what we don't want to see. And thank God there are those who will get involved and who have made it their business to stay involved in any shape, form, or fashion that they can to make it possible, to make it convenient for others. And we'll get into that very shortly as we begin our spiritual Monday morning meditation session. Let us become still. Let us become quiet and sit up straight. And I would say if you're lying down, it's okay. But I'm not going to say that this morning, because some people tell me that the meditation is so relaxing that they actually fall asleep. And we don't want you to fall asleep. We want you to stay awake. But we want you to operate from the inner consciousness, the third eye. That's what this mindfulness is all about. Well, someone will say, well, what is mindfulness? Well, in 2003, Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as the awareness that emerges through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experiences moment by moment. In other words, mindfulness allows an individual to look inside oneself as well as the environment without being too focused on any single thought or feeling, and to accept what is occurring without judgment towards yourself or others. Mindfulness training has been shown to help us gain more control of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. Now, this mindful meditation we're about to do is so simple that anyone can do it. You can do it while you're washing the dishes. You can do it anytime, but the key is to be calm and to breathe. So we will begin this morning with our breathing exercise. As you close your eyes, you should not be looking at anything but the inside of your eyelids. And as we begin, we will begin breathing through the nose. If at all possible, you will inhale to the count of 6, hold it for a second, and then release it. So let us begin. Sitting up straight, feet flat on the floor, back erect so that the energy can flow easily through the spine. Nothing in your hands, nothing on your lap, and simply close your eyes and experience the gift of breath. As we begin, inhale deeply to the count of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. breathing through the nose. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now continue counting to yourself as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And for every breath that you breathe, give thanks for the breath, because it is the breath, is the energy that moves through the body that allows you to be here in this vehicle we call the body. If there is no breath, there is no life. Inhale deeply, and knowing that with each and every breath you breathe, you are sending love and energy to each and every organ, atom, cell, membrane, fiber, and muscle in your body. What a wonderful way to start the day. Giving thanks, reminding each and every inner everything that you have work to do it today, and you cannot do it alone. And you give thanks for the breath that brings light, love, and energy in your world, starting at the top of your head with your chakras. As the energy moves in and around and circling, see the energy move from the top of your head, the forehead, on down to the eyebrow, the eyelids, the eye sockets, into the face, moving through the cheekbones, the nose, the lips, the mouth, the chin, and the cheeks, and the ears. Give thanks that they are working properly and in divine order. As you inhale and exhale, continue counting to yourself, giving thanks for the energy as it continues to move down through the neck and the shoulders and the arms. Giving thanks for each breath that you inhale and exhale. You are energizing and revitalizing the energy as it moves down through the elbows, through the wrists, the fingers, the tips, the hands, on down as we move into the chest area. We give thanks for the liver and the lungs. As we breathe unobstructed, knowing that the lungs and the liver and the pancreas and the spleen and the spine are rejoicing in the breath that you give it as you send signals of love throughout the entire body. The chest, the colon, the liver, the pancreas. Oh, yes, you are breathing life, love, and energy to the hips, to the thighs, to the buttocks. No matter the size, you are giving love and light and energy and love as you continue to give love. That love, light, and energy continues to expand through the thighs, the knees, the hips, the bones, the legs, the calves, the ankles, the arches, the heel, the toes. As you give thanks, you take one long, deep breath and inhale and say to each and every organ in the body, I give thanks that I am love and that I am lovable. I give thanks for each and every organ of my body, every inch of my body, and begin to repeat the two most powerful words on the planet, and they are I am. So repeat to yourself or out loud, but do keep in mind that the words that you use, when you speak it out loud, you give energy to the universe. You put the universe on notice that I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete. Yes, I am. And those words are revibrating throughout the universe and bringing you back exactly what you put out. So be sure that the words that you want, the experiences that you want in your life, be sure to include the words I am. Let us say it again. I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete. Another long, deep breath. Yes. I am happy, I am healthy, I am whole and complete. And as this breathing experience comes to a close, let us take one more long, deep breath. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And exhale, bringing your head forward, chin to chest, and begin to slowly rotate your head to the left. Slowly bringing it around to the back, slowly, 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 slowly bringing it over to the right. Slowly, and slowly bringing it to the front, chin to chest. Reversing the head to the right, slowly bringing your head around to the right and slowly to the left. Slowly to the back and then to the left. Slowly, slow down, moving a little too fast. You should just be getting to the left and slowly bringing the head around to the front, chin to chest, head straight up. Look to the left as far as you can. Look to the right as far as you can. And take a long, deep breath. And give thanks. Because someone, somewhere, is not able to do what you just did. Give thanks that you have been given this body this morning to do, to be, to have, to whatever it is that you need in this experience that we call life. And we give thanks. And please remember to share this experience with someone else who may not be as enlightened as you are. And during the course of the day when you have trials and tribulations, in which you will, it's Monday, expect it. Just remember to breathe. You don't have to do the head roll and close your eyes, because if you're confronted with the situation, you might not want to close your eyes, but just begin to breathe deep. And when you breathe deep, people will have a tendency to leave you alone because they will think that something is wrong with you. And actually, nothing is wrong with you. Everything's right with you. You have taken the time to do what's necessary to protect your inner spirit. As Dr. Maya Angelou says, before you face the day, face God. And this is your quiet time. So when people get on your nerves, you simply start breathing on them, and they'll look at you like, oh my goodness, what is wrong with her or him? You simply breathe on them, and hopefully you'll have some garlic or some onion or something to ward them off, so to speak, as my granny used to say, evil spirits, to ward them off. And they might look at you twice and walk away. Hopefully that's what they'll do, and because you've armed yourself. And if you get a chance to go to my YouTube channel and type in ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness, and you'll see some information there. You'll see those who have experienced it and how they are enjoying it. And if you enjoy it this morning, we'd love to hear from you by calling 515-605-9325, and you do have to press 1 in order to speak with the host, because we don't know that you want to speak unless you press 1. And also, if you are listening online on our social media page, ZeldaSpeaks, on Instagram as well as Twitter and Facebook, feel free to leave your thoughts, comments, and suggestions. And as we go to a commercial break, let us be reminded to grab pen and paper and send someone a text or call them and let them know that there is some information about to be available that will make their day and their way just a little bit smoother. So when we come back on the other side, we've got lots of information, so be sure and get ready to share it. And thank you for listening to Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Community and police need to come together again. Police need to walk the streets, get to know the citizens. They can ride the buses, the the subways, and once again become the officer friendly we always hear about. Police are the front line between us and the criminal element. As mayor, I will begin program to assure they will get to know us as our neighbors.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
We have an opportunity to transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Do you have a loved one with special needs? Call First Inspiration Nursing Services Healthcare Agency. At FINS, our mission is to provide exceptional nursing care for children and adults with special needs in the comfort of their homes. We staff qualified nurses to provide respite care and in-home supportive care for autism, cerebral palsy, Alzheimer's, ADHD, medical dependency, tracheostomy, and sleep apnea patients. We accept all major insurances and Medicaid. Visit us at www.finshealthcareagency.com. Email us at finshealth@gmail.com. Call us 24 hours, 7 days a week at 708-612-1144. That's 708-612-1144. FINS Healthcare Agency, promoting the quality of life for children and adults with disabilities.
Are you constantly arguing with your spouse? Are your children misbehaving and acting out? Is someone in your family abusing drugs? Have you been the victim of domestic violence? Are you grieving over the loss of a loved one? Let us help you restore serenity to your life. At Serenity Family Social Services, we understand that good mental health is the result of emotional well-being. Our goal is to assist you and your family in removing emotional distress and restoring harmony and balance to your lives. We offer individual, couples, and family counseling. I'm Howard Williams, CEO of Serenity Family Social Services. Call us today at 312-315-4820. That's 312-315-4820.
And we are back here on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The request lines are open at 515-605-9454. 9325. And press 1 to speak if you need to speak to someone. Excuse me, speak to someone, speak to me, the host. That's 515-605-9325. Today's show is dedicated to the caregivers and the trials and tribulations that they may experience as caregivers from the Disability Expo that I attended at the, was it Navy? Yeah, Navy Pier, just this past weekend. Actually, this Thursday it was, and there is so much information that I was simply overwhelmed. I'm walking down all the aisles, and there is just so much information. So let me grab some of this information for those who are interested. I did not know that there, and I don't know if you know or not, that there are people, places, and organizations that are fighting for the rights of those who are disabled. And I have information here from the Office of the Illinois State Attorney General, Lisa Madigan's office. It's the Disability Rights Bureau. I had no idea that it even existed. And it enforces state and federal laws protecting the rights of people with disabilities. It ensures compliance with laws regarding access to buildings, housing, and I've got lots of information on that, and other services for people with disabilities by investigating and resolving complaints through negotiation and litigation. In addition, the Disability Rights Bureau provides technical assistance and training to individuals with disabilities as well as public bodies and private businesses seeking to comply with the disability right laws. Did you know that the EBA, which is the Environmental Barriers Act, is one of the several laws that the Bureau enforces? It was enacted in 1985 and amended in 96, and it outlines physical access regulations for people with disabilities and new constructions, additions, and alterations to public facilities. It's the new multi-story housing. The Illinois Accessibility Code, it's the IAC, contains the EBA standards, design standards, and that is required with a certain amount of width from a door and the amount of clearance necessary for wheelchair usage. Now, this may not mean much to you if you are not in a wheelchair, but I've been in a wheelchair, and I know what that feels like to be able to have to go somewhere and you can't get in the door because of a wheelchair. And all of this information can be found at the IllinoisAttorneyGeneral.gov. That's www.illinoisattorneygeneral.gov. The Environmental Barriers Act, the Illinois Human Rights Act, the American with Disability Act, and the Fair Housing Amendments Act, among other disability right laws, protects the right of people with disabilities to fair and equal opportunities in life, and it utilizes these laws to ensure equal access and treatment with people with disabilities in the state of Illinois. And if you are ever in a situation where you need to file a complaint, you can do that by calling the Disability Rights Bureau at 312-814-5684. That's 312-814-5684. And if you need the TTY, that's for people who have hearing disability, you can call 1-800 964-3013. The TTY number again is 1-800-964-3013. And you can also fill out a complaint form at the website, which is illinoisattorneygeneral.gov, and submit that form to the Disability Rights Bureau at 100 West Randolph, 11th floor, Chicago, Illinois 60601, or the Springfield office at 500 South 2nd Street, Springfield, Illinois 62706. And if you missed any of that information, you can always call us here at this number, 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak, or you can send your comments via social media. Now, there is also a from the Office of the Attorney General, there are programs and services that are available. There's consumer protection. All of that is at the at the website that I gave you earlier. This is the Consumer Protection Division that offers informal mediation services to help consumers resolve complaints concerning purchases or health care. Consumers can file a complaint on the website or contact our office. Attorneys cannot represent an individual in a personal lawsuit, but may be able to resolve disputes or complaints through mediation. I've got meditation on my mind this morning. And there's also the Identity Theft Hotline. The Identity Theft Hotline provides Illinoisans who have been victimized by identity theft with one-on-one assistance as they can work to report the crime to local law enforcement and financial institutions, repair their credit, and prevent future problems. Attorney General Madigan's office can help you if you have been a victim of identity theft or believe your personal or financial information may have been compromised. Now, here's one I bet you didn't know about, the student loan help. The Attorney General Office is a national leader in investigating and enforcing consumer protection violations in the higher education field, and her office provides struggling student loan borrowers with free resources about repayment options and information on how to avoid default, because those student loans are not going anywhere. If you are in the process of thinking of retiring and you have student loan and you think that they can't come after you, well, think again, because I do have a girlfriend who is retired and who is disabled, mind you, and they have come after her with full force. Yes, they can make withdrawals from your Social Security check and any other check. If you're working, they can come for you with that too. Well, see, there are things that you don't know about, so it's important that you contact the Office of the Attorney General. Homeowner relief. The office has fought for many years to hold lenders accountable for their unlawful financial misconduct and provide assistance to Illinoisans trying to save their homes. So they work with struggling homeowners with mortgage repayments or facing foreclosure. Now, I don't know if you remember or not, but maybe a year or two ago, there was a big to-do about some of the banks and mortgage lenders who were defrauding homeowners, and I remember Wells Fargo was one of them, and I don't want to say the others because I don't remember exactly, but you know, if you think of one, it's probably that one too, and they were all fined millions of dollars, but I guess it didn't matter if they've made billions of dollars. You can pay a few million, but that relief is available to you, and it's how can I say this? I used to do what they call mystery shopping, and I still do it occasionally. And one of those assignments was to go to banks and pose as someone who is looking for a loan a home loan or a personal loan, and just get the general questions. And they would ask you for your Social Security number, and you don't give it to them, of course, and how much money you were looking to borrow and what you would borrow it for. But the gist of the shopping experience is called mystery shopping, is to find out how they treated you. Did they welcome you when you came in? Did they call you by name? Did they shake your hand? Did they ask you to sit down? Did they ignore you? Did they make you wait 15 minutes, a half an hour? So all of that, it's really simple, but there are policies and guidelines in place that are set forth to help the consumer. And when that is not being done, that's when the state's attorney general has to step in and monitor that. And that's how that lawsuit came about, because most of these banks and financial institutions were not treating people of color with respect. So do keep that in mind. And the Higher Learning Network still offers that program. If you go to the website higherlearningnetwork.org or send them an email at info@higherlearningnetwork.org. I know I speak too fast. info@higherlearningnetwork.org. Ask them to send you the information on how to do mystery shopping. And moving right along, Public Utilities Bureau. It advocates on behalf of Illinois taxpayers before regulatory bodies, the courts, and the General Assembly to ensure that public utilities provide vital services at fair rates. Now, you know, in Chicago, we're talking about ComEd, Commonwealth Edison, and there is always an increase with ComEd. And luckily for those of us who live in Chicago, there's an organization called CUB, C-U-B. It's the Citizens Utility Board. And if you are not a member, then I would strongly suggest that you investigate that by going to their website and getting involved, because I once heard someone say that their mortgage, their light bill, and their gas bill was more than their mortgage. And I thought he was joking. I was doing a seminar on relationships. This was probably 10, 15 years ago. And when he said that, I thought he was just being funny. But then he pulled them out of his pocket and he showed us his light bill and his gas bill, and he showed us his mortgage, and I was like, wow, he wasn't kidding. I thought he was, but he was not. So you want to get involved with that if your public utilities are a bit high. And last but not least, there's Crime Victim Services. Lisa Madigan's office provides services to help victims and their families meet their challenges and recover from violent crime. Programs administered by the Crime Victim Services Division include the Illinois Crime Compensation Program. Did you know that? It provides direct financial assistance to innocent victims of violent crime and their families. Eligible victims may receive up to $27,000 to cover out-of-pocket expenses related to the crime when all other means of payment have been exhausted. Bet you didn't know that, because that's not something that is broadcast. They don't want you to know that there is money available. I'll repeat that again. The Illinois Crime Victim Compensation Program provides direct financial assistance to victims of violent crime and their families. Eligible victims may receive up to $27,000 to cover out-of-pocket expenses related to the crime when all other means of payment have been exhausted. So I'm imagining, I am not 100% sure, but I am imagining that the cost for funeral expenses or cremation or whatever or other family activities, getting to and from the funeral home, I don't know. But if you call the Lisa Madigan's office, I'm sure that they can give you that information. The Illinois Crime Victim Compensation. And there is an automated victim notification system which give crime victims across Illinois, not just in Chicago, but across Illinois, to access to timely and reliable information about criminal cases and offender custody status 24 hours a day via telephone, internet, or email. And that toll-free number is 1-866-566-8439. That's 1-866-566-8439. And the TTY number is 1-877-502-2423. Once again, that number is 877, the TTY number, 877-502-2423. And you can also visit them online at www.vinelink.com. That's V-I-N as in Nancy, E, link, vinelink.com. And that's from the Office of the Attorney General, Programs and Services. There is a consumer fraud hotline in Chicago. I told you you'd need lots of pen and paper today because I have got so many numbers to share with you. The consumer fraud hotline is 1-800-368-5438. That's 1-800-386-5438. That's in Chicago. The Springfield number is 1-800-243-0618. That's in Springfield. The toll-free TTY number is 1-800-964-3013. And in Springfield, 1-877-844-5461. I give Chicago and Springfield numbers because Chicago is so well populated, sometimes you may or may not get through. So you can call Springfield numbers. It's less likely to be jammed. And if you're speaking in Spanish, 1-866-310-8398. That's 1-866-310-8398. The Senior Citizens Consumer Fraud Hotline. That number is 1-800-243-5377. That's 1-800-243-5377. The Crime Victims Assistance Line. In Chicago, there is so much crime. There's crime everywhere. But since we're in Chicago, the Crime Victims Assistance Line is 1-800-228-3368. Now, this information is not for you. We all know someone in our families or we work with or that we love that may need assistance. So please take these numbers and share them. 1-800-228-3368. And the TTY number is 1-877-398-1130. That's 1-877-398-1130. The Disability Rights Hotline. Yes, you have rights if you are disabled. That number in Chicago is 312-814-5684. That's 312-814-5684. And the TTY number is 800-964-3013. There's a health care hotline, 1-877-305-5145. That's 1-877-305-5145. And if you just joined us here this morning on Monday Morning Mindfulness, today's topic is information resources for you from the Disability Expo that I attended last week at Navy Pier. And there's lots of more information coming. The Identity Theft Hotline, by the way, if you'd like to call in and ask me to repeat some of this information, it's a lot of information. So what I'll do is post it on my social media page on ZeldaSpeaks, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The Identity Theft Hotline is 1-866-999-5630. That's 999-5630. The TTY number is 1-877-844-5461. That's 1-877-844-5461. We are a resource for you, and we hope that you will be a resource for someone else in need. The Student Loan Helpline, that number is 1-800-455-2456 if you need help with your student loan. There is a helpline, 1-800-455-2456, and the TTY number is 1-800-964-3013. The Homeowner Helpline, 1-866-544-7151 is voice and TTW number. That's for the hearing impaired or the speech impaired. That's 1-866-544-7151. And also 312-814-5094. That's 312-814-5094. Our Military and Veterans Rights Hotline, 1-800-382-3000. We all know someone who's a vet who is not being treated fairly. I volunteer at an organization on the west side of Chicago, and we get lots of veterans that come in who are in need of a variety of services, and it is a sin and a shame the way this country treats veterans. So if you know of a veteran, please jot this number down and share it with them, 1-800-382-3000. We're getting better, but it can always improve. The Illinois Sex Offender Registration Team, 1-888-414-7678. 1-888-414-7678. The Recall Hotline, 1-888-414-7678. There is a public access counselor if you are in need of counselor, 1-877-299-3642. That's 1-877-299-3642. And last but not least, the Environmental Crime Hotline. If you know of an environmental crime that's going on, I was looking at a documentary just this past weekend. I think it was Animal Planet, not a documentary. Oh, it may have been. And it was rescuing the little turtles from the sea that are dying by the millions. And the ones that did die, they opened them up and showed how the little turtles are ingesting plastic. They don't know that what they are swallowing is not food. They're babies. They don't know it. And they open their intestines up and they see all this plastic that is being dumped at sea. And we, the people, are dumping that plastic. So when the animals become extinct, you know who's next, right? That's us. So let us keep doing what we're doing. If you want something different, you got to do something different. Don't put your plastic in the water, in the lake, in the ocean, in the sea, because the animals will wind up with it. And we are all here. We are all one, created by the Creator to work in harmony together. And we are killing a species of animals. Many species of animals, might I add you. So the Environmental Crime Hotline is 1-888-288-9436. Well, that's the information from the Office of the Attorney General, Programs and Services. If you just joined us here on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution, Monday Morning Mindfulness, I have some information from the Smart 911 fact sheet, because the fact sheet, how it works, you can sign up at smart911.com and create a safety profile for your household to give away to give valuable information to 911 about yourself, family members, your home, pets, and even vehicles that display automatically when you call 911. So when you call call 911, your information shows up in the emergency call. It's private and it's secure, and you can control what information is in your profile. And see, these details can save you even minutes during emergency. You've heard the people say that if they just gotten here 60 seconds earlier, or if it could have gotten to you earlier, whatever amount of time it is. When you call 911, if your information is already there, they already know if you're disabled, if you're a veteran, if you can't see, if you can't, whatever you can't do. You have to plan ahead for the emergency. And also tell a loved one who has Alzheimer's that other key details will be there, your medical conditions and your medications, your address, your home details, and your emergency contacts. That is crucial for you to protect the ones you love. You can tell 911 about mental illness and other details. And also, if you have a hearing or a speaking impediment, you can still register because they have people on staff. And it's for pets as well. Protect your pets. And there is an application, and you fill that out, and you send that information in. Now, when we come back, that was the the Smart 911 fact sheet. When we come back, we'll have information about events that are going on in the city of Chicago, and also information on fair housing. If you've ever been denied. If you've ever been denied housing because of your disability, you want to get this information and share it. And we will share this information coming up in the next half hour. And you can call in at 515-605-9325. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Female Solution, and we'll be right back after these very important messages.
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. A previous mayor destroyed the great assets in the middle of the night, forcing corporate and private aircraft to land elsewhere. Jobs and revenue was lost, and convenient access to the business in the downtown area is gone. As mayor, I fully intend to reopen Meigs Field.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Are you having challenges with your 2-year-old who has suddenly discovered they have a free will and has learned to tell you no? Are you having challenges with your 8-year-old who has suddenly learned how to tell untruths in order to avoid punishment? Are you having challenges with your 13-year-old who has suddenly realized that they know everything and you know nothing? Parenting is a challenge. Our children are here to learn and grow in understanding so that they can reach their highest creative potential and contribute to a new world of peace and harmony. To do our part as their teachers and protectors takes wisdom, patience, and skill. Join me, Naima Latif, and facilitator Mark Shahid on the Parenting and Family Reconstruction Learning Lab every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Time on American Muslim 360 Blog Talk Radio. Tune in at www.blogtalkradio.com/American Muslim 360. Call in with your questions at 515-605-9891. That's 515-605-9891. Spare the rod. Love the child.
To transform the whole global society in the next 50 years. 50 years from now, the earth will be populated by a new generation of adults, many of whom are yet unborn. Our mission is to nurture them in childhood with love, guidance, and protection, and to raise them in healthy, happy families. If we impart values of compassion, generosity, and respect for fellow human beings in the next generation of children, they will create a world where people can live together in peace. This is our goal. Be a part of the transformation. Get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. Go to www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly Culture World Peace Restoration of Light transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com.
And we're back on blogtalkradio.com, The Female Solution. Higher Learning with ZeldaSpeaks, your Monday morning mindfulness. Yes, the request lines are open, 515-905-6325. We are sharing information this morning from the Disability Expo as we offer you resources to share with your family, and we are going to the 312-671. You are live and on the air, Grand Rising. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, and Shalom. We don't die, we multiply. Black power forever. And Assalamu alaikum. Shalom, Grand Rising, brother.
Wassalamu alaikum. Grand Rising to you, Minister Floyd Plump. Thank you so much for calling in this morning.
Yes, ma'am. I enjoy the exercise. The morning exercise has helped me a great deal.
Oh, wonderful.
On, the opportunity that you're sharing is very much needed in the community, which is really information. Information, communication, and coordination is something that's always needed in the world today because the world responds to need, greed, or curiosity. And the information you gave was needed, wasn't any greed, and it makes people curious about the resources that is available that maybe they didn't know about. So I just want to call in and tell you thank you for doing that, and also make it known that we are still promoting the world's greatest magazine, which is On Air Magazine. Matter of fact, I got to get in touch with Brother Alexander and Sister Naima to make sure they know that we need some more out in the community because people have been asking me about the On Air Magazine and if they have a new editions out coming out. So I thank you for you being you, and being a part of the Female Solution is also, a fantastic relationship to the community that I know that all you sisters are on point, 23 like Oprah Winfrey, and welcome to the 23rd day. This is a beautiful day. I see the sun coming up, too. So just breathing and being thankful to the good Lord, Yahshua, who most knows God. Jesus Christ is the Lord. So we thank God for being God and letting us breathe His air. You have a freedom something Les Brown say.
As Les Brown would say, it's been a pleasure. Plump, please, and pleasure and a privilege. Thank y'all here. You know, Les Brown was my mentor in speaking. It is because of him that I got into the speaking arena, because he told me, he said, you're too comfortable in behind the scenes in radio. So he kind of got me out of my shell so that I could be of more service to people. He said, because there's a lot of people never even heard of you on radio. So you need to get over yourself. And I was like, okay, Les, yes, sir. All right, I hear you. So I came on out my shell, and thanks to the Creator for putting me where I'm supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be there, and that is to be of service to those in need. So thank you, Minister Plump, for calling and sharing and letting us know that our work is not in vain. And thank you for being the light and love that you are. So thank you. In case nobody's told you lately, we appreciate you. And also, you always call and leave me a message, and we're just constantly playing phone tag. So the information that you want for the Amazon training is on ZeldaSpeaks.com. You simply click on the word training, and it'll take you to a link where you can get involved to learn how to make money shopping on Amazon, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, so thank you so much, and thank you so much for calling. You make it a great day. We so appreciate you. Let us go to the line. We have another caller, 773-5355. Your mic is open. You are live. Thank you for joining us this morning on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. What's your name?
Darylyn Kelly.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Darylyn Kelly.
Hi, Darylyn Kelly. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for calling this morning. Your comment or question?
Well, I'm commenting on the information, that you gave, because it was appreciated, the resources that we need, because we are being defrauded and what have you. And we need to know who to talk to. And I appreciate that, because I'm going through something right now that 2 of the numbers came in good for me. And I'm like, yep, this is what I need. So it was a help. And so if it helps me, it's going to help someone else.
Amen. Amen.
Yep.
Well, thank you so very much.
You're quite welcome. And I will share this information, and I will send them to your blog and what have you, because it's not just me that needs this information. It's a bunch of us.
Amen. Thank you. And thank you for listening. Thank you. Are you a first-time caller?
Actually, the first time getting through caller.
Oh.
I've called a couple of times before, but this was the first time getting through. So yes, I guess I am a first-time caller.
Okay, well,
so you have a
congratulations.
And thank you much.
Thank you so much for calling, Ms. Kelly. You have a grand day. And the lines are open. We're so glad that you appreciate the work that we do here on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. We have so much more information, but I do want to get to these calls. 773-4498. Your mic is live. You are on the air with Monday Morning Mindfulness. What's your name and your comment or suggestion?
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Lois here in Chicago. Hi.
Red Rising, Lois. Thank you for calling. Thank you so much.
I want to say this, and thank God for just being alive today, and I know everybody else agrees with me. At first, you sounded similar to Danny Davis with your words this morning. I don't understand.
Oh, my goodness. I take that as a compliment. I love the way Danny Davis speaks.
Well, it takes him too long to say certain words, and anyway, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Now that he's older, he's talking a little faster now. It doesn't take him all day to say that. But anyway, the disability program, that's a wonderful, wonderful gesture to really share with the people, with God's people. Even though these services have been available through the state of Illinois for over, I'd say, I started working with the state in 1970. So I know that these services that we are entitled to, when I say we disabled individuals, senior citizens, I find that most of them are being deprived of proper home services in order to keep them from having to be placed in a nursing home. I find that a lot of them have gone through Lisa Manigan, which I heard you speak of, and whom I campaigned for. I also, being the very first scheduler of Dorothy Brown, as she became clerk of the court, I heard a rumor that Dorothy Brown was in jail and Tom Dart was in jail, and who else was that? Some other people, but Lisa Manigan has been taking homes from senior citizens and allowing it to be done by the judges in the court for years. Now there's documentation. Anytime there's a law case involved, anyone can go downtown to the 8th floor and pull up that case, and you can read for yourself. So she defends the judges in their wrongdoing in taking homes from senior citizens, and most of the senior citizens right now are not receiving adequate hours of care in order to really be maintained in a normal living environment and not be placed in a nursing home. So we're not really if you call that disability line number that you gave, it will ring, 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 ring.
Oh, no. So we have so many things that the disabled and the senior citizens are entitled to. And if we don't know, and no one tells us, so God bless you, Zelda, for being able to bring that information to the public in that manner. And I'm going to continue enjoying the program. And thank you all. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much, Lois, for calling, because I had no information on that. I did not know. So thank you for calling and sharing that information. Now, I am not going to spread rumors because I don't know if Dorothy Brown or any of the others are in jail. I don't know. And I cannot comment on that. But what I can comment on is health care at home. This is a brochure that I received. It's skilled hourly home nursing for home health visits and respiratory home medical equipment. It's called Independence Plus Health Care at Home. It has private duty nursing, respiratory home medical equipment, pulmonary care, and a host of other things that are available, services that are available. They have information on cerebral palsy and for respiratory diseases, just a host of information that's available. And it's a home nursing transition specialist. Her name is O'Sullivan. And they're located in Oak Brook, but they have connections in Chicago. So if you want to give them a call, that number is 630-463-4456. That's 630-463-4456. And their website is independenceplus.com. That's independenceplus.com. INDEPENDENCEPLUS. That's independenceplus.com. That's healthcare at home. I am experiencing that. Trying to find a facility for my aging mother-in-law who has dementia and in need of 24-hour care. And that's one of the things that prompted me to attend the Disability Expo, because there are so many services that are available that we don't know anything about. Now, there is financial literacy classes for people with disabilities, and it is taking place. The first meeting will be this Thursday, July 26th, from 2 until 4 at Access Living, which is an independent living location. And I met a young lady there who is going to come on the show in the future and talk a little bit about that, because I pass that place sometimes at 115 West Chicago Avenue. But you do want to attend that if you need financial literacy skills. And that is this Thursday from 2 until 4 p.m. at Access Living, 115 West Chicago. They've got, I think that's right off of Chicago and Dearborn, Clark, somewhere around there, but you can't miss it. And it's an 11-week curriculum. They discuss ways to improve your credit, how to eliminate credit card debt, and the best part is you earn money while you learn. That's food for thought. And you can enjoy snacks and transportation reimbursement. That number to call is Carlita Johnson, 312-640-2159. That's Carlita Johnson, 312-640-2159. Or email C, the letter C, Johnson, at accessliving.org. That's C, Johnson, at ACCESS Living. C. Johnson at accessliving.org. There is also the 10th annual Beyond the Waters Beach Party in Chicago. It's Sunday, August 5th from noon until 5 p.m. at the Osterman Beach on the north side of Chicago. Parking and pace drop-off will be at the St. Andrew Greek Church at 5649 North Sheridan. And you might say to yourself, why would anybody want to go to a beach party for the disabled? Because disabled people like to party too. You need to know that. It's a free day of kayaking, cycling, barbecue, music and games, family, friends, and fun. Noon to 5 p.m. at Osterman Beach. And it's free parking and drop-off. Register online at btwbeach2018.eventbrite.com. That's btwbeach2018.eventbrite.com. For donations and information, call 847-621-7028. That's 847-621-7028, extension 7028. That's the Beyond the Waters Beach Party. While I was walking through the expo, I kept hearing this noise. It was a rowing noise. And I look over and I see all these people in wheelchairs, and they're on the floor, and they were rowing. They were teaching them with a monitor in front of them how to navigate when they're on the lake. Of course, they won't be alone. They will have on life vest and secure equipment to help them during the process. So you want to be a part of that, feel free. And that is done by Impact Adventures. Climbing, kayaking, dragon boating, cycling, sailing, paddleboarding, rafting, wakeboarding, scuba diving, skiing, water skiing, and all of that good stuff. And I'm looking at one of the brochures. There's a guy who's climbing who has one leg, but he has one artificial leg. And I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's you know where my heart is, so that's what's important. And last but not least, I got a ton more information. I'll be posting it online on my social media page because it's just way too much information. And there's the Independent Living Through Technology program that's going on. If you want to get information about technology and how to be a part of that, there's training. It's in Springfield, but I'm sure there's information here in Chicago. Call them at 217-522-7985. Or for TTW, 800-852-5110. We're going to try to take a few more calls here. You are live on the air, 773-4 4498. Your mic is open. Thank you for joining us this morning on the Female Solution. You've got about 60 seconds. Hi, who's this? And maybe they stepped away, so we will go to the next caller, which is area code 347-3552. Your mic is live. Thank you for joining us this morning. Yes. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Karen from the Boogie Down Bronx.
From the Boogie Down Bronx. Karen, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for calling this morning. What's your comment or question?
Well, my comment is that information is so important for veterans and disabled veterans. I thank you for putting it out there, because in New York here we have the same opportunities, and it is the same number to those veterans. Please call in and get your help, because I'm a disabled vet, and I bet you I use every opportunity to get all the help I can get, and I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you so much. Glad to be of service to our veterans who have made our lives so much more comfortable because you served in a war. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, and please continue to share with your fellow veterans. We've got time for one more call at 773-6. I'm sorry. That's 773-4498. No, I went to that. I'm sorry. Yes, you are live on the air. 773-4498. We are taking our last call.
No, this is Lois, and you took me already.
I'm so sorry. Okay, thank you so much, dear. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, dear. Love you, too, and love you for listening. 312-2773. Your mic is open as we are about to go off the air. Your comment or suggestion? Well, maybe.
Hey, that's Brother Trump. Thank you, Zelda. Just want everybody to go to theharoldwashingtonfoundation.com. .org, theharoldwashingtonfoundation.org. Send us a donation. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay. God bless you, too, and thank you. One of the things that I meant to mention is that at the expo, they gave out seeds, marigold seeds, thyme seeds. So if you got time to plant some seeds, this is a great opportunity for you to plant your seeds. And you have been a wonderful seed this morning, sharing the information that I've shared with you, because it takes a village. And this village I have so much more information. I'm going to be posting it daily all this week to assist you in the process of making someone else's life more comfortable. It is an honor and a privilege to have shared this Monday morning mindfulness with you. I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, ZeldaSpeaks Mindfulness, and listen to some of the testimonials that people have placed there who are enjoying the work that we do. And also, if you would like to be a part of the comments and suggestions, just send us an email, zelda@zeldaspeaks.com. And congratulations to Dr. Willie Wilson, who is a man of the community who has made it his business. He gave away over $250,000 yesterday morning at the churches for homeowners who were losing their homes. And this is a man who has been doing this for over 40 years and is not mayor. So please visit his website, williewilsonformayor.com, and the hashtags are I am Willie Wilson. Thank you so much. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. I will see you next Monday morning mindfulness from 7 till 9 a.m. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned, and be good to yourself. Do something special for yourself today. After all, you do deserve it. And share your Monday morning mindfulness. You'll be glad you did. Make somebody else's day better besides yourself. Thank you, and God bless. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, peace, and blessings. Make it a great day.
Thank you. And may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.